Allow me to Mintroduce myself. That's the name of the plane this time, and JetBlue is about ready to take me on my best domestic United States flight ever. Stay tuned. JetBlue 1524, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff. Hi everyone, I'm Scott. I'm an air traffic controller by day and a travel enthusiast year-round. I love premium travel, and when possible, I love to leverage my credit card benefits for exciting trips. So come along for the journey. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me, and I'm very gracious for your support. Keep watching until the end of this video to find out where I'm headed next. Today is a very special flight for me. Not only get to fly in JetBlue's Mint business class across the United States, I also get to do it in one of their internationally configured Airbus 321s from LAX to JFK. So let me walk into Terminal 5 and get this exciting day started. As I check the board for my flight's on-time status, it is time for me to check in my bag. Check-in at LAX is very easy with JetBlue, and Mint customers have a designated line to check bags. If you fly JetBlue Mint, you can check 2 bags at 70 pounds each. Your bags will also be tagged to come out of the baggage claim first, but I've seen that sometimes this benefit can be inconsistent. After going through security, my wife and I got an unexpected surprise before heading to the AMEX lounge. This is Archie, and he was providing a lot of smiles to the people in Terminal 5 at LAX today. Anyway, it's time to take about a 10-minute walk over to the Tom Bradley International Terminal and go to my first stop today, the American Express Centurion Lounge. I reviewed this lounge briefly here at LAX in my video when I went to Ireland. To get in here, the American Express Platinum Card is your ticket along with a government-issued photo ID and a boarding pass. Delta Amex Reserve cardholders can also access this lounge, but you have to be flying on a Delta flight on the same day. Honestly, at LAX, if I was flying Delta, the Delta Sky Club in Terminal 3 is a better choice, but this is not a bad lounge either. My wife and I got here toward the end of breakfast, but the food was still coming out of the kitchen. I thought the selection was good, and the food was better this time than my previous visit when I went to Ireland. All the food is buffet style at the American Express Centurion lounges. The lounge has plenty of beverage options, and it also has a full bar and another one around the back. There's ample seating in this lounge, so that is a plus. They also have a coffee machine and a selection of teas. The food and drink is complimentary, but make sure you tip for great service. After my trip to the Amex lounge and doing a little plane watching, it's time to head to the gate and the 10-minute walk back to Terminal 5 at LAX. I finally arrived at Gate 55A for my flight to JFK. Allow me to introduce myself was awaiting at the gate. This plane was about 3.5 years old at the time of this recording, built in June of 2021. As of this posting, JetBlue is now only flying from LAX to New York JFK, Boston, and Fort Lauderdale. As the Mint group is called aboard, I scan my boarding pass and walk down the jetway in anticipation of what I'm about ready to experience. My wife and I are not only sitting in Mint, we are sitting in both Mint studios at the front of the plane. If you watched my flight to Ireland, you probably know how ecstatic I am to be flying in these particular suites. I will tell you at the end of this video how much this all costs, but for now, check out all the amenities and the unbelievable amount of space. When you think you've seen everything, there's more. I'm about to embark on a nearly 5-hour domestic United States flight in an airline seat, or should I say a suite, like no other. Shall I say this is just a little excessive for a 5-hour flight? Yeah, it is. However, knowing that these suites on an internationally configured JetBlue plane become less common with the downsizing of their LAX operation, I am happy to take advantage of this piece of airline luxury. And just like the last time we flew in the Mint Studios, my wife and I are going to dine together for dinner after we get in the air. This time, I'll join her suite. I mean, isn't that amazing? On a domestic flight like this one, you won't get any slippers in the storage compartment, but you can ask for an amenity kit if you want one. I'll review this a little bit later on. With all the space, storage, and amenities, it's time to review the featured presentation of JetBlue's Mint service, the dining. On JetBlue's domestic Mint service, you will have an opportunity to review JetBlue's paper menu. For me, I special ordered a gluten-free meal, so the menu will not apply for me today. You are only able to order special meals in JetBlue Mint more than 24 hours before the flight. JetBlue has a decent number of options on the menu you can order that can potentially be modified if you ask your flight attendant before departure. For this flight, you can choose 3 of the 4 items on the small plates menu. Also, as you can see, JetBlue has a nice selection of wines and cocktails, including their mint condition cocktail that appears to be a popular choice. With that said, it's time to depart for JFK on yet another fantastic day to fly. My only criticism so far is that JetBlue didn't have a pre-departure drink service, which is common in the first or business class cabin on United States domestic flights. But I think I'll be okay. I'm very grateful to be in the Mint Studio Suite yet again for this unique flight. Now that my flight is airborne, I want to show you probably my second favorite thing in this suite, this huge TV screen. It is 22 inches big and has flexibility to it when it's pulled out from its wall. You can pull it out of its slot and move it up and down depending if you're sitting up or have the seat in a lie-flat position. JetBlue provides headphones that are decent quality to listen to the many movies and live TV provided, although on this flight, the live TV was not available. However, JetBlue's internet was working very well on this flight, and it is at no additional cost no matter what cabin you book. As I look out the window and sip on a great glass of champagne I ordered, and my wife enjoys her mint under one condition and a small snack, it's about mealtime. It's also about time to see my favorite feature of these JetBlue Mint Studios. It is the included bench and table. They allow you to dine together in the suite. On a United States domestic flight, business class or first class travel doesn't get much better than this. So let's toast to this great meal in a luxurious airline cabin. Let's check out my gluten-free meal. It was by far the best meal I have ever had on a domestic United States flight and arguably on any flight I've taken on any airline. This meal came with one of the best salads I've ever had. A piece of cod that was seasoned to perfection with a leek, along with a risotto plate with mushrooms that was phenomenal. And there was a pack of chocolate-covered cashews. My wife's meal was also excellent. She ordered 2 items off the menu along with the dessert. It came with a plate of chicken Milanese that had capers and Brussels sprouts, a Sicilian square slice of potatoes and prosciutto, and a bowl of tiramisu that looked amazing. And lastly, my wife's tray came with a bread roll. Now, take a look at all the space we had between us and our meals. Who would have thought years ago about a concept like this? It's definitely well thought of by JetBlue. And so now it's time to eat and enjoy. And did we both ever enjoy this? Maybe this airplane food tastes better because we're in Mint. Or maybe JetBlue did well with the catering. Either way, I don't care. This was amazing. Good job, JetBlue. After my wife and I finished our food, I still had dessert still coming from my special meal. 3 scoops of raspberry sorbet. It was so good. Now, just because we're in Mint doesn't mean I can't see what's offered in economy. That's because these JetBlue Airbus 321 long-range models have the JetBlue Pantry located in the back of the plane. I was surprised to see no beverages in here, but I still took some snacks from it anyway. As I walk back to row 1, let's take a look at the Amenity kit available on request. Inside this kit, there is lip balm, mouthwash, earplugs, hand lotion, an eye mask from Tuft & Needle, and lastly, a pair of socks. That's a wrap on the Amenity kit, and it's great to have this option on JetBlue. As I finally go back to my seat, I am greeted to a terrific sunset out my windows over the middle of the United States. The rest of this flight was super relaxing. The flight attendants were very attentive the whole time. So how much did this flight cost? I used JetBlue points and a fee to get my wife and I to the Mint Studios. Previously, I mentioned using JetBlue points from Mint is typically not a good redemption. However, this flight, if I purchased it, would have been $787 each for Mint. Instead, I used 62,100 points each to book 2 Mint tickets. After the flight, JetBlue gave back 10% of the points used, so effectively the flight cost 55,890 points each, bringing this redemption to about 1.4 cents per point. While not incredible, it's one of the best values I have seen redeeming JetBlue Mint using JetBlue points. In addition, to book the studios, JetBlue charged an additional $199 for my wife and I. So this one-way ticket cost us, including taxes, 111,780 points and $409.20 total. And would I do it again at that price point? Oh, you know it. Perhaps we won't book both Mint Studios next time, but I wanted to show you what it's like to book the entire first row of this amazing product. I am so glad you had the opportunity to watch this experience. If you enjoyed, please like my video and comment about it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I am very grateful for your support. Stay tuned for my next video. It's a flight finale, JetBlue's last flight into Burbank, California. I will fly on JetBlue's longest Airbus 220 route from JFK before the sun sets on this flight. Be safe out there, and for now, so long.